Hey friends, happy Monday, happy Libra season. This is one of my personal favorites. I am Libra rising, so I have my rising sign or my ascendant is in Libra. I also have Mars, Saturn, and Pluto in Libra. In fact, I have Mars and my rising at exactly 15 degrees Libra. So for me, this is a really interesting one because Libra is a very peaceful, harmonious energy, and Mars is bold and courageous and action oriented and is attuned with war. And so we have this peaceful and this combative, can be combative energy happening. And it wasn't until I really started studying my own astrology that I even came to terms with this. Kelly, Irene, Kelly means warrior, right? There's that Mars energy. Irene means peace. There's that Libra. And I have Libra rising, my ascendant and my Mars are directly connected at 15 degrees. So for me, this feels, Libra season always feels so personal. It feels like a breath of fresh air. We're turning from truly from summer into fall. It's officially fall as of today in the northern hemisphere. It's spring in the southern hemisphere. So we're coming out of the harshness of those summer winter seasons into the soft transitional nature of fall and spring. With Libra, as with every sign, we have a continuum of energy. We have this people pleasing energy on one side, this very indecisive, don't want to rock the boat, don't want to make waves, just kind of make sure everybody's happy energy on one side of it. And then the other side, the really kind of gift of Libra is this ability to build bridges, this ability to, where there is chaos, bring harmony and beauty. Where there's opposition, to help kind of bridge the gaps. That is a superpower that those with strong Libra placements can bring into life. But a lot of times we get so caught in the kind of shadow patterns on the opposite end of the energy spectrum with Libra. And with this, when we find ourselves in that, and many of us, even without really strong Libra placements, feel this at different points. And this is a good season to kind of dig into this theme of, where am I pleasing others and not paying attention to what I need? Because that's a lack of balance. Libra is very much about balance. Its symbol is justice. It's the scales. It's going, okay, we're going to weigh the truth here. If you are so heavily focused on what others need that you don't think about your own needs, there's no balance there, right? That's out of balance. This happens with me. I can do this at work. I can do this at home, where I'm so focused on what everybody else needs that I put my own needs on the back burner, and then I'm exhausted. And then I'm bitter, or I'm frustrated, or I'm burnt out because I was so far out of balance. And then I get pissy and cranky with everybody, and that's not fun for anybody. And then I feel guilty for that. That is I feel like that is a very common Libra cycle and struggle to go through. So one of the ways that we do that is by bringing balance to the way that we meet other people's needs and the way that we meet our own needs. We have to meet our own needs. And if that's something that you have pushed off for various reasons, this is a really good season to try to get honest about that and to go, okay, I am going to meet some of my own needs. And doing that is not selfish. It's not wrong. I remember a friend of mine, this was several years ago, after I had been divorced and I started dating again, she said, Kelly, you were so used to only asking for 10% of what you needed that asking for even 25 or 50% of what you need feels like too much. And I needed to hear that from her because it was true. I had my entire young adult life had felt that my needs were proof of something wrong with me. I was punished for having needs of my own. And so I had to learn to feel safe asking for what I needed. But then I also had to kind of get a new perspective on, okay, asking for even 50% of my own needs is still out of balance. In order to bring balance, there's got to be a give and a take always. a really good example of this is such a small thing, but even thinking along these lines, a lot of us with strong Libra placements have a hard time making decisions. And even something as simple as, what do I want to eat for dinner when I sit down at the restaurant and I'm looking at the menu and I'm going, there's 3 things that look so good to me. That can be a hard decision to make. I have a partner now who, if I say, hey, I really want this and this and I can't decide, do you want to get one of those so that I can have some of it? Sure. Most of the time, he is like totally fine with that, which is such a gift to me, because that's one of those I never before would have gone, hey, I don't want to have to choose between these 2 different dishes. I know that they're, we have similar taste. And so if I get one and you get one and we share the 2, we're both going to be really happy with that. And so I can say that. That's asking for more than 50% of my needs or my wants even. And sometimes I know, there's this, something on the menu that I'm not interested in, but I know he's going to want. And so I don't push that. But now I don't feel bad when I ask for it. So that's, that's kind of it may seem silly if you don't relate to that, but for those of you with Libra placements, I think you're going to relate to that a lot. That we are indecisive, and so having others help us make decisions can be a gift to us. That's kind of the shadow side of Libra, and the people pleasing comes along with that. We love our people, and we are hyper aware of what our people want, what they need, what makes them upset, when they're not upset. Even if they're not upset, we still might think that they are. It still might be our fault. Even if it's not our fault, we're going to think that it is. This is Libra thinking. This is Libra energy when we're talking about the shadow side of it. One of the ways that I have been able to kind of step into this, claiming the gifts of Libra, are 1, getting really honest about my wants and my needs, and finding ways to trust that I'm safe asking for those, and then doing that. Most of the time, I can't speak for your personal environment, so I don't know this for sure about you. For me, what I found is that more often than not, I was safe to say what I wanted, and no harm came to me from that once I got out of a very unsafe environment for that. And so if you know that you are in a place where you can ask for what you need, practice it. Tell your people that you are going to be practicing it. Tell them, I am going to spend this Libra season trying to move into the gift side of Libra, and that means I have to ask for what I want and what I need, and I need your help honoring that and helping me know that that's safe. That is one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is just simply go, what do I want today? We talk about this a lot. 1 hand on your heart, 1 on your stomach. Take a few cleansing breaths. And then, what is it that I want right now? And as much as you can give yourself that one thing right now, give yourself that one thing right now. It might be a nap. It might be a snack that you would like. It might be a glass of water because you haven't got up and got water in far too long today. What is that thing that you want, that your body is asking for right now? Try doing that once a day, and then twice a day, and then 3 times a day, and see what happens. As you begin to give yourself what you want, you are going to begin growing stronger in your ability to give others what they want, because there's going to be less fear associated with it. A lot of times we give in to others out of the people-pleasing fear. We give in to others to try to keep them happy, to try to keep their love, their affection, their attention, their approval, their validation. And the more that we can trust ourselves and know what we want and then go forth in what we want, then we begin to please others from a much more empowered place. And that's where we begin to move into this ability to be the bridge builder, because we're no longer seeking validation from somebody else. We are now going into this place of the bridge builder or the harmonizer or the beauty bringer in an empowered, centered, strong place. We're not doing it for attention. We're not doing it for validation. We're not doing it for love. We're doing it because we are empowered. And that is a very, very different energy. And it is the energy that as we go into Libra season, we desperately need. We've already seen how the last couple of weeks have gone since eclipses started on September 7th. This energy is going to continue into Libra season. We have this week Mars and Pluto are squaring. That is going to be its own volatile energy. There is chaos, there is change, there is all sorts of things happening around us, and we need to be able to go, okay, where there is chaos, where can we bring harmony? Where can we create true beauty? Not pretending like the chaos doesn't exist, not pretending like damage isn't being done. We need that boldness that Mars gives. Mars is courageous and bold to be able to stand in that empowered place and go, here is how we can bring harmony. It is not through pretending like damage is being done. It is not through pretending like everything is fine. It is not through pretending like ugly things are beautiful. It is by going, hey, can we make this into something different? Where might we be contributing to further division through contributing to whatever's happening around us? And where is it out of our hands and we need to call BS on the BS happening around us, whether we have control of that BS or not? That's that empowered Libra stance. It is very, very different from the people pleaser stance. We cannot get there, though, until we are honest about our own needs and our own wants, and we learn to stand in those, and we learn to be safe in those. Friends, we will talk about this more. I think there's some really cool things we can talk about this month of what we can do when we do begin to stand in our own trueness. Think about the symbol of Libra, Lady Justice, balancing the scales. When we are balanced, when we are integrated, when we are whole, we talked about being whole in Virgo season. When we bring that wholeness and we stand in that for the sake of justice, for the sake of integrity, for the sake of beauty and harmony. That there's a lot that we can do with that, but we have to be ready to stand for our own wants and our own needs so that we can stand for that of others as well. If this is striking a chord in you and you want to know more about Libra in your own chart, you want to know more about your own sun, moon, and rising, you have strong Libra placement, you want to talk through how we make these moves from the people-pleasing kind of fear-based side of Libra to the empowered, centered side of Libra. You can book a chart reading, you can book a 15-minute call. There are ways to connect with me, and I would absolutely love to get to do that with you. So those links will be in the show notes. These are not easy times. Change is not easy. We're turning a corner. That always happens when we have eclipses. This corner that we are turning is going to be different from the previous ones. If you want to know how this applies to you and your chart and your life and what it means at work, what it means in your family, what it means in your relationships, that's where a conversation with me can be so helpful because we can go deep into your chart together. So if that's something you're interested in, there's a link in the show notes. I would absolutely be honored to do that with you. Blessed Monday and Libra season to you, my friends.